today I'm going to be building a realistic house in Bloxburg. So here's the house I'm going to use, and as you can see it's 400,000, which is about average price for a house in the UK. I thought it would be perfect for our realistic home. So with all that out the way, let's start building this house. Okie dokie, so here we are on the plot. As you can see, I've got a very, very rough outline. I basically just copied the floor plan on the real house. So here is what all the downstairs rooms are going to be. And this might look small to you Americans, but this is like an average size British house. We've got to be quite careful with the outside because as you can see, there's like a roof over the porch. And I swear, every single house in England has this same like orangey brick color. To me, this is the closest match to the picture. Oh, and you don't get any variety, guys. It's all just brick, okay? No, I'm not slandering British houses. They're cute. But this looks so bad, so I think maybe adding the roof in will help us. Oh, what is that? Looks like a little bit of custom placing is going to have to happen. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Also, we can incorporate some of my favorite roofs, these slanted ones. I'm sorry, English house is so basic. The roof tiles are literally roof tiles. Like, there's no fun stone. This looks very big, actually. My house is not this big, tell you that for free. A lot of British houses actually have this. The one in the picture doesn't, but I want to add it as my own little tweak. And it's basically like patterns on the front of the roof. And with a bit of shifting around, I think that looks really lush. Now, this is looking still very bare, so I think adding pillars is going to help. And before you tell me, look how flat and ugly the side is, Reese's. This is meant to be a realistic house, okay? And they're pretty ugly on the sides. Also, I've done this roof wrong. Let me fix that. This is starting to look a lot more like the picture. Next, let's get our good old friends, the windows, out. And in the picture, it's hard to tell what type of windows these are, to be honest. And I tried doing this whole custom window rubbish and it weren't working out for me. So I've gone back to the good old-fashioned factory windows. Oh, that looks so much better. Sometimes Bloxburg actually pulls through with their window game. As you can see, there's like a curved window at the bottom, so I'm trying my best to recreate that. Move me into this house now. Anyway, before we do any other windows, I want to add our first realistic detail. As you can see, on the real house, there's an alarm, and so many British houses have these alarms. So I don't know how to do this. We could just be simple and basic and do like a ring bell up there. Oh my gosh, that actually does kind of look like the alarm. And don't you guys think I forgot about my traditional door? My goal in real life is to have a door like this on my house when I'm older. But let me quickly add all the rest of the windows around the side and I'll come back. And here is how I'm going. As you can see, I've added windows all around and they don't look as good as my normal windows. But again, this is realistic. Next though, a lot of English houses have cute little plant pots outside the window. We can just have some lovely tulips. Paint them the colour of a gender reveal. 1,500 for some flowers. I could go down my local florist, get them for free, mate. Now it's time for the driveway, which, not gonna lie, is not gonna actually be as amazing as you might think. No joke, driveways in England are literally so plain. Literally be something flat like that, and then next to it would be grass. And guys, the Bloxburg builder temptation in me, just to go and make this look so nice. But the whole point of the build is to be realistic, so we've got to stick to that. Only quite rich houses have gates that fence them in. But let's just pretend that whoever lives here is rich. And these front gardens are going to have some lovely rose bushes in them. And I'd say this looks pretty realistic, especially if we do a miniature side by side. Like, I'd say I've got it relatively accurate. Obviously with my own little twists on it. Oh, and people ask me how I got like the flower on them so big. You literally just resize them. I only found out about this the other day. And you can make the flower really big and the lily pad big. Something you might have out the front garden though is just chairs. Oh my days. We had these same chairs sat out the front of my house for literal years and no one ever sat on them. And then one day we just took them to the tip and they got destroyed. Finally, I'm just adding some of my favorite trees around. Is that sad that I have a favorite tree? Maybe a little bit. Yes, I'm so happy of that for the front. Now we can finally head inside. The first thing I'm going to add in though is the stairs. And in the picture, it looks like the stairs are like here and then they go through this little secret passageway. A lot of stairways are not out in the open like in Bloxburg. I'm going to use panel doors because I feel like these are the most realistic. Then this house is actually kind of bougie. They have like a whole archway going on. I mean, I have an archway in my house as well, so. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I've said this before. My kitchen in real life is styled off an American diner. Random fact. And in the original floor plan, this is the living room and then doors go into the dining room. And I'm just like, what? That makes no sense. So I'm also going to add doors into into the kitchen. So you can take the food from the kitchen into the dining room. And if we look at the flooring through most of the house, it is this ugly wood. So I'm going to do a similar texture to stay with the theme, but we're just going to upgrade their floor a little bit. However, I do want to do a little checkered flooring in the entrance. And I've also added wall trims, which are not in all houses, but they are in a lot. And we can now finally start decorating. So I think I'm going to start with the kitchen because that's always my favorite part. However, look at the picture of it. I was horrified when I saw this picture. So we're going to be giving them a renovation, but still obviously making it realistic. And these cabinet units are getting so popular nowadays. And this is actually really hard. Like, I just want to place so many BLOXBURG-y things. I think the way to make the sink realistic is going to be to use this commercial one. Now, many English houses don't have islands, but I want mine to. I swear in American houses, literally every house has an island. So unfair. And question for my American fans, there's kind of like a running joke in England that American houses are all mansions compared to English houses. Now, I'm sure this isn't true, but can some of you Americans comment down below and just let me know? Something we definitely need to add in this house is a fan. Sometimes I forget to put these, but obviously you'd have this in a real life house. I think what could help is add a couple of these paintings and then put marble on them. I feel like in Bloxburg, when I'm building, I'm always like, okay, let's put a blender here. Let's put like a jam maker. In reality, who on earth has a jam maker in their kitchen apart from like your grandmother? I think a coffee machine is not that unrealistic to have. Like, look, we wouldn't be having a fryer in our kitchen. Apart from an air fryer, oh my gosh, tell me at home who has an air fryer. We just got one. No joke, it cooks fries in like 5 minutes. I know what can make this realistic. Putting loads of like stacked plates next to the sink so it looks like washing up. And we could even have some marble wallpaper over on this part as well, which now, oh my gosh, literally looks amazing. And you might be wondering, what's this little space for? It's quite common to have 2 areas to eat. So this is basically for a little eating area. I think I've just understood why the doors were there, because you don't actually have to eat in the dining room. You can eat in here. It's like 4 normal chairs. And then on this side, they have like a bench, which is such a fun little design thing. I want that in my house. To make it look realistic, I'm not going to add plates everywhere, just a couple. And then also just some like spoons. So it looks like, oh, people have just finished eating. In my house, my mum, every day, there's something different on the dining table. It's like roulette. Every time I come downstairs, I'm like, what's going to be on the dining table today? Like, sometimes it's flowers, sometimes it's jars. Today, I'm going to go for jars though. Final thing I want to have is, because there's a back door here, we might as well add a coat rack with towels, which I now know you can resize, and then maybe just some keys. And that is the first room in our realistic house done. Since we're right here, we should probably do the laundry room. Surprise, surprise, I'm going to add a counter in here because that is the main purpose of a laundry room. And the other main purpose is to obviously have a dryer and a washer. Although in houses in the UK, we don't normally have dryers. We just put them on a washing line outside. Better in stereo. Oh my gosh, guys, I've got that song stuck in my head. Where's it even from? It's from that show with the twins. I can't think what it's called. And this from here is a little toilet. So I'm actually going to be well fancy and make it like a full-blown bathroom with a shower. Like, obviously the toilet, up or a sink. And it's definitely normal to have a plant in your bathroom, I think. Lol, I'm literally so paranoid that you guys are going to be like, this is the most unrealistic house I've ever seen. But the one benefit of this challenge is we don't have to like over decorate everything. In real life houses, it's not that decorated. Next, we have the main dining room, which is actually going to be pretty easy because we can just use this table again. I did not realize how big this room was. Maybe this can be the fancy dining room for when like friends and family come over. I can't tell if this dining table looks amazing or awful. Let's go with amazing. Now, where is the chimney? Okay, the chimney's over here, but let's just pretend it's here. It's not that unrealistic to have a fireplace in your house, okay? And do you know what's actually going to make this look really realistic? Adding a bunch of photo frames around. Because what is more popular in a house than pictures of the fam? As you can see, I've just added loads of stuff, but it's true, like when you go on holiday, you bring back ornaments like this alpaca. And the reason for this massive space here is to have these tall armchairs, which nobody's allowed to sit on. The only people that are allowed to sit on these armchairs are like granny and grandpa. The only people that are allowed to sit on these are like your grandparents. I just feel like we all have that area of our house. Last thing that would probably be in this room is a chandelier of some sort. And wow, this room is beautiful. It really upsets me that I can't add all the detail, but again, realistic vibes. And guys, lounge rooms are so basic. I mean, look at this one. It doesn't look that basic actually. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we'll have the little TV stand in this little crevice. I think that's perfect. Or actually, maybe we should have it here. And I'm going to custom make sofas just for the sake of space. And I think I might have messed up the proportions a bit. Like, this is a massive room compared to the size size of a sofa. I'm going to put this massive long one along the back here. And yeah, okay, I've only managed to fill up like half the room. We definitely made this way too big. I have planned for what to put here. First of all, though, let's get a couple more pillows on here. Next up, I'm going to put some of these shelves behind the sofa in like this cool, uneven little pattern. You guys know I'd normally use these books, but to be realistic, I'm going to use these ones that have stuff written on them. Normally, I wouldn't use these because they're quite ugly, but they do look realistic, I suppose. And I decided to add this wallpaper all the way around. I just think it makes the room look so much better. But my big plan for what to have in here, I never ever put pianos in my living room, but they are actually quite a common thing. People also have books. I'm going to use these fancy looking little tables. They look well cool. Side note, every day I make these videos, guys, I get more and more excited because it just means summer is that one step closer. Oh, a lot of you guys were commenting that you're already on your summer break. And I was like, what? It's in England. We don't finish for another couple of weeks. I'm just so excited to be free. And also it'll give me so much more time to do videos. Right now I film like in between school, but in summer I will have full days. Oh my gosh, this literally looks like my nan's living room. I'm not even joking. Bear in mind, this looks pretty realistic to me. Now, there's only 2 more rooms downstairs, the hallway, which I'm literally just going to speed build because you've seen me build a hallway 1,000 times. And again, very, very simple building here. If this is the first video you're watching of me, you're probably like, what on earth is this building? Anyway, what was this room going to be? Oh yeah, the family room. What even is that? We could make it a massive office. Yeah, let's make it a gaming room. To add a little bit of fun to this, I'm going to add a inverted wedge. The reason I'm doing that is just to give it this cool little slanted ceiling effect. So maybe over in this corner is where we could have the desk. Cool shelves and marble backdrop. And LED lights, because this is obviously an office. We'll have a couple of computers so multiple people can work at here at once. Phones as well. And I've already added some decals in, and it's like a picture of your favorite cat, although it looks pretty angry. Also, we could have like a little meeting table in here. Because if you've got a house this big, in reality, you're going to have to own a business or something or be rich. But you might have to have people round for meetings. Another desk there for maybe like an assistant. I know that's more of a basic room, but again, it's just like a luxury office room, and it's still pretty filled. I'd say it also looks very realistic in here. That is the whole downstairs sun, which looks beautiful. But now we have upstairs, which is a hot mess. Let's start by adding some railings so you don't fall down the stairs and tumble. And let me quickly do the outline so I can show you guys. Okay, so as you can see, we have a total of 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms up here. Sadly though, my money always has some sort of issue with me in these challenges. So I'm just going to do 1 bedroom, and I'm going to choose the master bedroom with the ensuite. So I've briefly decorated this upstairs hallway area, and now we can do the bedroom. First of all, what on earth is going on here? Somebody did comment though that you can actually use basic shapes to fix this. Actually, I've changed my mind about that basic shape. I feel like we can just cover this area up with closets. This is the closet area. It is literally tiny, but it doesn't need to be anything special. You'd obviously have a double bed in a house this big, which I'm going to decorate very, very thoroughly. Beautiful stuff. Some pretty plain bedside tables. Why did I say it like that? Pretty plain. This window is almost reminding me of like a bay window, which you'd sit at. So I'm going to add a bench there. Whoever lives here, let's guess that they're pretty into art, so we can add big walled paintings. We'll also add a little vanity with some makeup on it for whoever lives here. At the end of the bed, I'm going to add these cute little chairs. Guys, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm getting so basic now, but it's like I don't know what to do to make it look realistic. We can try and cover up the roof in here by using one of these like joint bathtubs. It kind of works. It's just a massive chunk through the shower. We'll have a toilet and a sink, and I want this tiny little window to go in front of the sink. That's cute. And with that, guys, our realistic house is finished, and I'm in a tree. So let's go and look around. All right, so I've just changed all the paintings, and we are now ready to look inside. First of all, let's appreciate the outside. If I saw this at a glance, I would actually think, is that a real life house? But let's pop in. So we have the entryway, and I'd say this looks pretty darn realistic. We have car keys, coats, well, kind of coats, and a live, laugh, love sign, because it would not be a British house without a live, laugh, love sign. First room to the left is the office room, and I'm really happy I added those like triangle things. I think it really helped the room. But yeah, this is just a simple little office room. Opposite is the living room, and this is honestly such a cozy area. I feel like this is probably the second most realistic room. And of course, we have a grand piano where we can show off that we're maximum music skill. Here is just the main dining room, which when you actually think about it, this is massive. Like, whose dining room is this big? I've added some artwork, so we've got coeptors here, don't know what that means. Our lovely little cat, and then the room I think is the most realistic is the kitchen, and this is my favorite room as well. Another live, laugh, love sign, a kitchen table and an island. And wait, what's in here? Oh yeah, a pantry where we can put food. I forgot I added that. And some dishes, because if you want to, we can do dishes or pretend to do them. But that's not even it for downstairs. We have a whole nother area, the washing up room and a toilet. So you can sit here and have your cat stare at you, because there's nothing better than that, right? While you're trying to have a nice poo. So that's it for downstairs. It is a lovely, lovely build. And then upstairs, if we had enough money and time, then we could have added a bunch more bedrooms. But you get the gist with the one I did, which is this one. Now, bear in mind, again, this is pretty bland, but for a realistic room, I'd be so happy to have this in real life. And it gets its own ensuite bathroom, which we're not even going to go in there. That was kind of the flop room of the build. But the bedroom is glorious. I really do hope you guys enjoyed watching me build this realistic home. Let me know what you thought of it. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.